So hello guys, welcome to EduTap. I hope each of you is healthy, happy and fine and taking very good care of yourself. As you already know, we are running the success story series on our YouTube channel and today is one such a story with us. And the name of the story is Miss Shikha Lal. So Shikha, how are you? First of all, welcome to our channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So how's the
And
feeling
hello
right
to
now?
all. The feeling is still sinking in, but now I'm normal. Okay, and it's very good feeling when you achieve something that you long for, you hard work for it for entire year, and then you got selected into the position, and where you can look forward to a future full of growth, full of opportunities in the Central Bank of India. I think it's a very good feeling.
It's a very good feeling, yeah. So let me give you a brief layout of this interview session. First, we will talk about your background, how you came across this RBI examination. Then we talk about the strategy related session. Then we talk about the strategy related questions, and it is actually for the strategy that many of the future aspirants are looking at you. And then we talk about the interview, and some general questions will be there, some queries that we'll take from our students. So guys, be ready with your queries. Whatever you want to ask to Shikha, please mention it in the chat box. I will take up. So Shikha, just tell us about your educational background and how you came across about this RBI examination.
Okay. So first of all, I did my graduation in computer science honors from Deen Dayal Upadhyay College, Delhi University. I got graduated in 2018. Okay. And after that, I prepared 1 year for civil services examination. As many other aspirants, I also wanted to serve in public sector organization where the impact of my work is more prompt and visible. Most of my friends, they did post graduation in MCA and MSc to go into corporate sector, but my inclination, it was always towards public sector. It was very clear from second year of my college that I want to serve in public sector only, and that too in civil services or in some big organization from where my impact could be visible. So I prepared 1 year for civil services, and in 2019 attempt, I failed prelims. I could not clear it. Everything was like shattered. What could I do? And it was only my first attempt, but that was a turning point. Like I need to decide what I want to do further in my life. Whether I have to appear for UPSC one more time, but how could I justify my gap year then? So all these questions were running through my mind, and then I decided that I need to go for a financial security job. They were my friends, some of my good friends. My one friend, he also suggested that I need to go for some financial security from where I could attain my peace of mind. Okay, so this strategy could work for some of you and it could be different for everyone else. Okay, so you have to decide what works for you. Having a job alongside me was something that comforted me at different levels. So in August 2019, I started preparing for several banking and financial services examination, and from which I got selected into LIC and PNB PO in the same year in 2019. In LIC assistant and in IBPS PO, I got PNB. But in LIC the joining was very fast. So I gave mains examination in December, and my result came on 17 January. It was very fast, and the joining was on 6 February. So I joined LIC, and after coming of the final result of PNB also or PO also, I chose to remain in LIC only. That was a tough choice. I chose to remain in assistant cadre instead of going for PO, because I wanted to prepare fully. I want to prepare fully for regulatory body examinations and civil services. So how my inclination moved towards RBI was that it was totally due to the subjects it is covering. I thought that if I'll prepare for RBI, my GS3 part in UPSC Civil Services, it could be covered very well. I did not know anything about RBI examination. What is the pay scale and what is the work of RBI in the economy? I just looked at the syllabus, and I took it. I thought that it was like it could be kind of a step towards my bigger preparation. So yes, and then I started preparing for RBI, and my perspective changed a lot since the time I was preparing. It changed a lot.
Okay. So, guys, one thing I would like to mention here is that Shikha has cracked this examination as a fresher. This was her first attempt, and in first attempt, she has cleared the boundary. So, Shikha, what's the feeling from cracking the IBPS to PO to now the bureaucrat of this entire banking system? What's the change in the feeling?
I think one thing that worked for me and it will work for all of you
Yeah.
is your interest, your genuine interest in the subjects that you are studying. From my college days, also, from my second year, I started reading newspapers. I first read the Hindu for 1 year, and then I switched to the Indian Express, and then I switched to the Mint. So, reading newspapers, learning about all the happenings that are influencing the decisions that government or the RBI takes. So all these they motivated me to know more about the things. So my genuine interest in the subjects, including the economics, and because economics is the superstructure of all the subject. Once you get to know about this, every other thing is interlinked with this. So I think this interest helped me a lot throughout the preparation. And although I haven't cleared the prelims in 2019, but that preparation also helped me. I was very serious at that time also. So whatever you are doing, whether you fail it or you get success in the first attempt, do it. Give it your 100%. That I could say. So that will eventually help you.
Okay. So there's one more question, just a general question that is coming to my mind. As you have mentioned that your father is from army background.
Air
So
Force, yeah,
Air
Indian
Force,
Air
yeah, Air
Force.
Force, Air Force. So was there inclination towards the armed forces? Have you tried to give the attempt of those
Uh,
examinations?
when I was in school, I was very much inclined towards Air Force. My father is not an officer; he is an airman. But still, I lived inside the quarters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have seen the lives, so I was interested, and I also had also given the 2018 CDS attempt, and
Okay,
I got selected into. I got recruited for SSB,
okay,
but there I was kind of I could not clear the first phase only.
okay,
I was returned back after 1 day. And one thing that bothered me there was I could not knew the I was unable to pinpoint the instance that I need to improve for that. There were only 5 to 10 minutes or 5 minutes of group discussion, and they decided that these much people will be inside and these. So after that, I decided I do not want to appear for it again, and I will appear for other examinations of scale one level like RBI and UPSC Civil
UPSC
Services.
civil
So
service.
that was the point. I decided no.
So coming now straight to the strategy part, because many of the aspirants will be looking at this point that yeah, we need the strategy questions. So we will divide this entire strategy part into three further domains. First we talk about the phase one, then we talk about the
Yes.
phase two. In
Okay.
details, we will ask multiple questions and cross questioning will be there because even our students will be commenting and we will take up their comments. And then we talk about the interview.
Okay.
Anjali, I think you have written about a query for the interview, so no worries, we will be covering that. So, starting with phase one.
Okay.
Phase one comprises of 4 sections:
Yes.
GA and QRE. We are taking QRE as a separate one section.
Yes.
So, there is a general opinion that a student who is good in QRE is not good in GA, or if he is good in GA, he is not good in QRE. So, what was your take on that? And what was your approach?
Actually, one thing I like to mention, not only in this examination, the thing I learned from IBPS examination also. Every exam is a combination of all the 4 subjects. You don't need to do PhD in one subject. I cleared IBPS PO, but still I do not know anything about most of the topics in quantitative aptitude because it is considered as most difficult. I haven't even touched the permutation or permutation probability and all other difficult topics. I just picked out some 6 to 7 topics: average, profit and loss, percentage, and some topics that I can rely on. That from where DI could come, because DI is a very important part. So you should focus on your understanding, I think, in for quantitative. And for reasoning also, it is very easy. Reasoning is depends on all your logic. Okay, if it is difficult, it is difficult for everyone. And if it is easy, you can crack it if you have a basic level of understanding reasoning. And for GA also, I will tell you the strategy about GA. But for QRE, I think a minimum amount of knowing the syllabus, it is required only. I never practiced a lot questions on quantitative aptitude. I had just given mock test. I had given, I think, 12 to 15 mock tests before the interview from different platforms for the phase one. So it helped me for preparing for my combined strategy. So just keep this thing in mind, that the combination of all the 4 subjects. If your English is good, if your GA is good, then if your quant and reasoning are average also, then you will sail through the examination. Okay. So
Yeah.
Yes.
So what was your sources for the GA section?
For GA, I would like to mention about Affairs Cloud study PDFs. Affairs Cloud is a very good platform. They are doing very good work, and they are providing. I think I took their subscription of 400 to 500 for 1 year. It is very affordable also. So they are doing very good work. They are providing monthly current affairs in a compilation called study PDF, and also they are providing weekly questions or daily questions. So I was not referring to them. I was referring to monthly compilation study PDF and weekly compilations when my pre was upcoming. And after that, there was practice mock platform, and on that platform I had given several quizzes, because they were providing weekly quizzes in their platform, in their app, not on website. So these 2 things, I think they helped me a lot. But there was a bouncer in this year's pre. The questions were kind of matching the level of mains, the RBI 2019 mains level. The questions were matching them.
Questions were not direct this year.
Yes. So I will tell you that never think that I will prepare for this section only. I will prepare only for pre. Prepare in synchronization. Synchronized preparation is required. I had studied. I think I was studying Affairs Cloud study PDF from September 2020 onwards. So I had the knowledge about various things that were happening around it. I was studying it for the purpose of mains, not for the pre, but it helped me sail through the pre.
Okay.
So that was a very good source I could mention.
Okay.
And after coming of the notification, I read Vision IS monthly magazines also. Only for those 2 sections, economics and social issues. Only for 2 sections. It is very bulky and meant for CSE preparation. You have to read only 2 sections, economics and social issues.
Okay. So how many months of current affairs are enough for phase 1?
Nothing is enough. I think, yes, I think, but for phase 1, if you are doing it, I think 5 to 6 months. You have to prepare for 5 to, yeah. For example, this year's, the pre was in March, and I was preparing from September, October last year. So it was, I think, it helped me sail through the examination. It was okay.
Okay.
And I will tell in synchronization only, because pre and mains, I don't think in terms of current affairs there is any differentiation, because the thing RBI is looking is analytical skills. How much you can understand the concepts that are happening around you, the things that are happening in your surrounding, in economics and economics fair specifically. So I think both should be done parallelly.
Okay. There's one more question that is coming into my mind, because a lot of aspirants ask this, especially for the QRE. Those who have a doubt regarding QRE, I'm putting their this query on their behalf. See, for the query, many of the students are confused that they have to do the syllabus one by one, or if they can do the practice of QRE directly from the mocks.
Actually, if you're a fresher, you haven't appeared for any other IBPSPO examination or any other examination previously like I did, so directly jumping to the mocks will not help. I think you just have to make a timetable and select some topics. There are some topics, 7 to 8 topics that are important, like average, percentage, profit and loss, and mixture allegation. These 7 to 8 topics, you can decide that these are my strong points, and you have to give 1 or 2 days each to every topic. And you can go to some random YouTube video and see the tricks that they are using. But most importantly, you have to understand the concept also, because that will in this year's pre, no, the questions were like they were tough. They could not be solved just with the help of some formulas. So your understanding should be clear, I think.
Okay.
So first you have to do individual practice for every topic for about 15 days. I don't give more than 15 days to any subject. And after that, you can jump onto mocks. Mocks are very important. You can use mocks as a book. You can use mocks as a form of book. You don't have to refer to any book. And frankly speaking, no book can match the level of uncertainty that the exam is offering.
Okay, and as you have already highlighted that you have taken multiple mocks before these
Multiple mocks.
phases. Okay. So
Yeah.
I think most of the query related to phase 1 we have already covered. Now coming to the phase 2.
Yes.
Phase 2, this year they have introduced the descriptive part. So English was always been a descriptive. So I don't think there is much we can talk about the English. Coming to the finance and ESI directly. Though there is a lot of thing regarding English also, but we can skip that because many of the aspirants have already covered that. But guys, if there is any query that you want to ask, especially regarding to phase 1, you can mention it. We will take it by the end of the session. I'm noting down your queries. In the meantime, you can type it in the comment box and I will take it. So let's start with the phase 2. So in the phase 2, the 3 sections are there: English, FM, ESI. So which is the most scoring for you? Or what
English.
you believe that is the most scoring? English,
yeah.
Okay.
One thing I think most of which is underrated, it is English.
Okay.
I think every aspirant who is thinking of starting the preparation for RBI or any other examination should immediately start reading newspaper, and not very tough newspaper. Like you can't start a Business Standard at first. You can start with Indian Express. It is a very good newspaper, giving a in very simple language. They are giving the understanding of the things happening around this. So in this year's also in mains, the questions that were coming were very lengthy. They were giving questions in terms of paragraphs, like this much paragraph. So if your reading skills are not good, and if you're not able to read those questions in 1 or 2 minutes, how could you answer them? So having very good reading skill is a very important thing I would like to mention. So read newspapers, read articles, read anything that you come across that is relevant to examination, but start reading. So first thing, it helps in your grammatical skills. It helps in your descriptive. It helps in the format also, like how to attempt to a question, how to introduce, what all points you can give, and what are further points you can collect. So all these things, it could be helped by reading newspapers and also RBI website. I will mention that also. So English was a very easy part for me, I think I could say.
Okay.
And apart from it, in management and in ESI also, in English reading, it helped me a lot, because I was reading very quickly the questions, and I was understanding it, and I was answering the questions. Yes.
Okay. So let's start with finance now. So what were your sources for preparing the finance and management together? Finance and management.
First of all, for management, it is mostly static. This year also the questions were static. There are some theories, it is the easiest part of phase 2 preparation. I think so. So for me, I referred to EduTap's for your platforms. I referred to EduTap's summary sheets because I had not taken the course. So I took the help of summary sheets only, and they were also enough for me. I read them and I made my own notes, 1 or 2 pointers, like if this question could come, what all things I will write. And I did this in 2000 in last year's October, November. But when notification came, some of the syllabus was changed, and obviously I was also like, how could I prepare this new part. So for the new parts, like I have this syllabus with me. There were some new parts were introduced: management functions, managerial roles, yes, and ethics.
Ethics was introduced.
It was introduced. Okay, so I individually googled it for ethics and other things, and there were some notes. I think I got it on Telegram. Telegram is also a very good platform. You all can join that. So I got it on Telegram, some notes of ethics. So I read them, and I did not prepare it very thoroughly because I did not know how the questions would be coming from them. And RBI also, they also
They
did
didn't
not
ask
ask
any
any.
question from the
Yeah, very well. They knew that it is very first time. They asked it in only objective part. They were giving like paragraphs and you have to answer that from them. So it was kind of easy. Attempting ethics part, kind of easy. So for management, yeah, EduTap summary sheet, it was, I think, sufficient, and individual for other topics that are not available from there, you can Google it individually. And for finance, again, EduTap summary sheets. I referred them. For every topic, for bonds, for derivatives, for primary markets, secondary markets. So having a static knowledge about everything that is coming under finance, it is important. So you have to read it once from any source that you like. You can. Some people also use Bharti Pathak. I find that book very bulky, so I refer to. I concised my sources. So I refer to EduTap summary sheet, and whenever I had any doubt, I individually Googled it and used YouTube videos. Okay, and after that, yes, finance I covered it from here only, and then ESI.
Yeah, that ESI.
Static part, ESI mostly comes from dynamic areas.
Yeah.
Yes. For that, you have to first refer to some book or some source from where you can read about everything that is coming under India's economy that has happened in the past, before 1981, after 1981, and all the things. You just have to have, you just need to have a basic understanding. Be it you can use 11, 12 NCRTs, you can use Ramesh Singh. Many aspirants use them. I referred to Shriram economy book. It was a book that was available in Delhi. So Shriram's economy book, they very concisely they defined every topic, that what is inflation, what is poverty, what is planning commission, everything. So I gave it just one read. I haven't thoroughly memorized anything, just to analyze, just to read, just to know that what was the history of our economy of India. So you should also read one book on static part. Don't completely ignore it, because everything that is happening in and around us, it is linked to the static part only. Okay, so I would recommend this book. And after that, every other thing like RBI website, they are very good. They provide very good articles. Like for budget, I was reading the summary of Affairs Cloud, but there was very good article on RBI website. There is article section. They provide articles on various things. They provided article on finance commission, on budget and its analysis. So I regularly visited the website, and I used to read any material that I found relevant for the examination that is happening in and around us. So yes, these two things, and apart from it, Vision IS Current Affairs magazine, I mentioned it earlier also. So this thing, and newspapers. So these four were, I think, my sources.
So one question is coming into my mind, that what should a fresher would do? He will look for multiple sources for covering this current affair portion, or should he refer to one particular source and revise it again and again?
I think not one source. I don't think one source could be sufficient, because the approach is different. As you could know, as you know that the paper is descriptive plus objective. So for objective part, if it was like paper is only objective, so I would recommend reading only Affairs Cloud study PDF. It is extensive. It has covered everything about schemes, about government schemes, about everything that is RBI is doing, about every trips that any ministry is making. Everything it is covering in depth. Affairs Cloud study PDF, monthly study PDF, and there's a I think there's a method to read it. It is very bulky. It is 300 to 350 pages. You should read it in a way. I will tell you at the last, okay, how you should approach to that book. But since the paper is descriptive, also you have to use two sources. I think one is Affairs Cloud, and second is Vision IS. And apart from it, occasionally RBI website and newspapers. So these 3 to 4 sources I would recommend. In Vision IS, you get to know about the writing skills, that how a question is approached.
So what was your approach regarding the descriptive writing? Was it a paragraph or was there a proper structure that generally UPSC aspirants follow? Like they give an intro, they give a conclusion, they give a body.
This approach,
This was the approach.
introduction. Yes, this is a standard approach, and you should also follow it. Actually, after mains, after pre-examination result, you will get a very less amount of 10 to 15 days for the mains. So in that period, you should write answers. I segregated some essays. There again, I took the help of EduTap and other sources also. They provided some essay topics like of Atmanirbhar Bharat, disinvestment. These topics are prominent. Labor code, farm laws, and RBI step on cooperative banks. These were some of the important happenings that were happening at that time. So I listed those points in a very in a drive, and I was preparing with one of my friend. He was also preparing for RBI Grade B, and unfortunately he couldn't clear it. But we did the preparation simultaneously. So we both used to write the answers on them. We first collected some fodder points like on Atmanirbhar Bharat. What or fodder points you need, like 7 to 8 points only in the terms of points, that if you're writing any answer, you cannot just beat around the bush. You need to know some specific things. Like for disinvestment, you need to know some ideas, like what you think about that. So in terms of points, I used to write in those drive sheets. And after that, we we took time for writing the answers, and we evaluated each other's answers, descriptive answer. So I have written around 20 to 25 answers just before the mains. So it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot in mains.
So no, this year the descriptive was introduced and the timing was only 90 minutes for 2000 words. So what was your approach regarding this? Should I have to exhaust the word limit or should I have to try to approach?
I've written only 200 words, 200 to 50 words. I had, because the time was so less and I was suffering from fever during my mains. I remember that my mains was on 1st April,
yeah,
and the Holi was on 27th March. And on that day, I got fever. I got viral fever. I was very much weak. So I could not attempt each and every word limit का तो मैं क्या ही बताऊँ उस time ध्यान करो. So I just attempted the answer in as much qualitative manner as I could.
Okay. So see, the current requirement of the examination is one of the student is asking that they have asked a lot of data in the examination in the phase 1 also as well as the phase 2. Especially they were like earlier what they used to ask is a direct question in the phase 1. But now even if they are asking a scheme in the examination, they are asking some factual data within the scheme. So how one can prepare for that for one particular, how he can prepare so much data?
I think don't focus on the data part, because that they think that these questions are only a part of the whole paper. I think the thing that worked for me was analytical skills. The analysis that you develop after reading all the things, it helps in examination. For example, let me take an example. In exam, only the 50% part is descriptive. Only the 50% part is objective and 50% is descriptive also. And there you can write anything you want. Don't write data. Write the things about, you need to know some data also. Like in Finance Commission question, you need to know that it comes under Article 280 and this is composition or some basic data. But don't delve into too much data. And in the 50% objective part, just attend those questions that is not data extensive. I also had the same problem. I did not memorize many data, but in Affairs Cloud PDF, just start reading it. It is very extensive. I think it will cover all your needs. Okay. It will cover it thoroughly. Okay. Yeah.
So there is one more question that coming in mind कि जो अपना finance and management था, that is more towards the static. And ESI is more towards the current affair. So in the descriptive part, so like the questions were direct this year, maybe next year they may change, they may not. So have you tried to put real life examples or real life situations in the management and the finance, because it's a static, so you do not have much to quote in? So do you have used any of the real life example to substantiate your answer? Or in the ESI, have you used some factual information or factual data to quote that in the answer as a fodder material?
हाँ, ये दोनों चीजें दीज आर इम्पोर्टेंट मैंने किया था. फॉर मैनेजमेंट आई यूज्ड एग्जांपल्स. फॉर मैनेजमेंट आई एक्चुअली ड्यू टू फीवर आई मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छे से याद नहीं है कि मैंने एग्जैक्टली क्या क्या लिखा था किसमें, बट आप यूज कर सकते हैं. सर ने एकदम सही कहा, आप यूज कर सकते हैं अपनी लाइफ के एग्जाम्पल्स टू शो देम दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड the concept. And management is easy. I'm telling you, after reading all these ESI and finance, management will seem easy to you. Okay. And in ESI also, the use of further point should be there. That is the purpose of the drive thing that I mentioned there. For every topic, around 30 topics, I collected further point, me and my friend, because obviously I was not alone. So आधा मैंने किया, आधा उसने किया. हम लोगों ने क्या किया, अलग अलग जगह से, गूगल से, विजन आईएस में कभी कुछ पढ़ा हमने तो हमें ये वाला पॉइंट अच्छा लग गया, वी अंडरलाइंड इट एंड हमने उसको उसमें छोटे से पॉइंट में हमने लिख दिया. तो फर्दर पॉइंट आपको होना चाहिए. हमने क्या किया, जब फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी के लिए ओईसीडी की एक स्टडी थी, एक सर्वे था, उसमें बहुत अच्छे से लिखा हुआ था कि इतने परसेंट इंडियन से दे आर लिटरेट. सो मैंने उसे, या मतलब मेरे को समझ आ गया, मैंने उसे उठाकर ड्राइव पे डाल दिया. अब लास्ट मोमेंट पे तो आप अपने ड्राइव के क्वेश्चन से पढ़ोगे ना, लास्ट 10 to 15 minutes में, 15 days में, and especially in the last 3 to 4 days, I was only reading my drive, only reading, and I was not able to read also. My friend was dictating it to me on the phone. I was just listening to it. Okay, read those points all over again. So you should use it. You should. It will differentiate your approach and the approach of a very non-serious aspirant, I could say. So you don't need to just beat around the bush. You should use further points there.
As we also suggest in our sessions that to make your answer different from the others, you need to quote some examples, some data.
Yes.
So guys, you can learn here that
Exactly.
for the descriptive writing, quoting the data is important, as she is suggesting, and also the real life examples to make your answer stand out
Very
from
good.
the others.
Very true. मतलब everything you will read, न्यूज़पेपर से कुछ पढ़ा, आरबीआई के आर्टिकल से कुछ पढ़ा. मैंने जैसे आरबीआई के आर्टिकल में बजट का एनालिसिस पढ़ा था, तो उसमें मुझे बहुत अच्छे से लिखा हुआ था कि असेट मोनेटाइजेशन क्यों होना चाहिए और डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए. मुझे वो पॉइंट बहुत अच्छा लगा. ठीक है, तो वो पॉइंट ऐसा था कि अगर मैं खुद से सोचती तो मुझे नहीं आता, बट मैंने उस टाइम उस पॉइंट को मतलब ग्रेस्प करके अपने नोट्स में लिख लिया था. सो मेक नोट्स, मेक योर ओन नोट्स. आई विल सजेस्ट इट, मेक योर ओन नोट्स एंड रीड देम जस्ट बिफोर द एग्जामिनेशन. एग्जाम से पहले बिल्कुल भी इधर उधर नहीं करना, वो आपको हेल्प नहीं करेगा.
Okay, so there is one of our aspirants want to ask ki, sir, is it required to cover RBI circulars or annual reports for this RBI examination? Have you covered those sources?
ना, मेरे को भी लगा, बहुत डाउट था इसमें. आई वाज आल्सो एंशियस अबाउट हाउ कुड कवर, बट जब मैंने आरबीआई की एनुअल रिपोर्ट देखी ना, तो उसमें कुछ था ही नहीं ऐसा करने का. वो तो उन्होंने जो पूरे साल किया ना, अगर आपने थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा हुआ है, जैसे मैंने अफेयर्स क्लाउड का बताया, उसमें आपका ईएसआई वाला, और मतलब उसमें सब कुछ बताते हैं. आरबीआई न्यूज करके एक सेक्शन आता है, उसमें सब बताते हैं वो लोग कि क्या क्या किया आरबीआई ने, है ना. तो अगर आपने वो सब पढ़ा हुआ है तो आपको आरबीआई के एनुअल रिपोर्ट में सिर्फ और सिर्फ, मैं लास्ट चैप्टर पढ़ा था, लास्ट चैप्टर जिसमें बैलेंस शीट थी आरबीआई की, जिसमें क्या क्या पार्ट्स हैं कि मुझसे इंटरव्यू में ना पूछ लो. वो भी मैंने मेंस के बाद पढ़ा था, मैंने इंटरव्यू के लिए पढ़ा था. बिल्कुल नहीं, सर्क्यूलर्स भी बिल्कुल नहीं, वो उनका इंटरनल है. बहुत ज्यादा मतलब अगर कुछ मेजर चेंज हुआ है, जैसे कि 2020 फरवरी 2020 में लिक्विडिटी मैनेजमेंट फ्रेमवर्क चेंज हुआ था. अब वो 2020 में हुआ था. उसके बाद इन्होंने मार्च 2021 में उससे क्वेश्चन पूछे, तो एक क्वेश्चन उसके ऊपर भी था. सो जो कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें होंगी जो कि फंडामेंटली चेंज करी, लिक्विडिटी मैनेजमेंट फ्रेमवर्क इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, तो वो अगर चेंज हुआ है तो यू शुड रीड अबाउट इट. सो इसलिए मैं कहूंगी रेगुलरली आरबीआई की वेबसाइट विजिट कीजिए, 3-4 टाइप विजिट कीजिए, बस स्पीच विजिट कीजिए. कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है वो बहुत अच्छे से कवर कर देंगे, लाइक ओपन बैंकिंग. क्या पता कल को वो मेंस में बिल्कुल बड़ा सा पैराग्राफ डाल दे ओपन बैंकिंग के ऊपर और आपको उससे 3-4 क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, है ना. उसके ऊपर आप एनबीएफसी अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर्स के ऊपर पूछते हैं, आप कहेंगे स्टैटिक है या डायनेमिक है, दोनों है. ये स्टैटिक का मतलब आपको पता होना चाहिए क्या है ओपन बैंकिंग, और डायनेमिक का उसमें इंक्लूड कर दिया. तो स्पीचेस आप देखिए, और आरबीआई का ना एमसी, वो जो मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी रिपोर्ट्स आती है वो, और एक और रिपोर्ट आती है एमसीआईआर, मॉनिटरी क्रेडिट एंड इंफॉर्मेशन रिपोर्ट आती है. उसमें वो सब कुछ कंबाइन कर देते हैं कि हमने क्या क्या किया. तो आपको टाइम नहीं है ना अगर आपको देखने का, मंथ में एक बार वो रिपोर्ट निकाल लो अक्टूबर की, और जस्ट गो थ्रू इट एंड उसमें देख लो कि कौन कौन सी चीज रिलेवेंट है. मतलब हर स्टेज अलग अलग चीज डिमांड कर रही है. प्री अलग कर रहा है, मेंस अलग कर रहा है, इंटरव्यू सबसे ज्यादा एनालिसिस डिमांड कर रहा है. तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग अपने आप को सेग्रीगेट करना है आपको प्रिपरेशन.
ओके. And guys, अगर आपका, if there is any query regarding the fees to strategy, you can post your query in the comment section. There is one query which is coming in my mind regarding the phase 2, especially the ESI section.
Yes.
So many a times the students remain confused. Do we have to refer the entire economic survey because it is a bulky document? We have to cover it end to end, or is there any shortcut available for that?
I haven't covered the economic survey, especially this year's also. This year also, after coming of because they were stating all the reasons that how we recovered from COVID first wave, and by the time the exams held, COVID second wave was stuck in. So all those data were irrelevant according to me. But obviously, for you have to look at it. So I think there is GS Score. GS Score website, it is a website for UPSC civil services aspirant. So they provide a summary of economic survey. So I refer to them. And in very short, crisp manner, 40 to 50 pages, they provide a summary of economic survey. I just read that and only those chapters that I found relevant in the context. So I read that. I read budget analysis from Affairs Cloud. I read GS Score, budget economic survey, and
So we
those
can
read
say, if we
end to
try to
end.
summarize it, for the ESI, you referred mostly the knowledge that you have gained through UPSC.
Yes, yes,
So
I think,
my question is,
I think.
do a UPSC aspirant has an upper edge from the other candidates?
No,
Because
in
ESI is already they are preparing a.
actually, I was referring I was telling about my friend. He's an NICLO. I was referring about him. He's a non-UPSC. He was from non-UPSC background, and he reached till the stage of interview also. He also given the interview. There's also given. So because it is doable for a student from non-UPSC background also. And about my preparation when I got into LIC, most of this stuff I read, I forgot that. But yeah, the preparation helps a lot
Okay.
in several stages. Yes.
So for ESI, it was your UPSC preparation. For financial management, I think we contributed a
Not,
little.
not UPSC preparation. Like RBI is just a subset. RBI वो आपका बस इकोनॉमिक्स पार्ट डिमांड करता है. यूपीएससी तो बहुत बड़ा है, मतलब उसमें काफी सारी चीजें आती है. और मैं क्वालिफाइड, आई एम नॉट क्वालिफाइड इनफ टू कमेंट ऑन दैट प्रिपरेशन बिकॉज आई हैवंट इवन क्लियर द प्रीलिम्स. सो अगर मैं आरबीआई में बोलूं, जब मैंने आरबीआई की प्रिपरेशन शुरू की लास्ट ईयर अक्टूबर में, सो आई वाज अ फ्रेशर. मैंने अपने सोर्सेस सेग्रीगेट किए. हाँ, ये चीज मैंने सीखी कि कभी भी किसी भी एग्जाम के लिए सेग्रीगेट करिए अपने सोर्सेस. मैंने अपने मेरे फ्रेंड थे जो आरबीआई के इंटरव्यू में अपीयर हुए थे, मैं उनके पास गई. मैंने उनसे पूछा, उन्होंने मुझे अफेयर्स क्लाउड के बारे में बताया, उन्होंने मुझे एडुटैप की समरी शीट्स के बारे में बताया, वो भी उसी से पढ़ते थे. तो अपने सोर्सेस ना 3-4 समराइज कीजिए और उसके बाद आपको खुद ही पता चलेगा कि इसमें मैं ये भी ऐड करूं. जैसे 2-3 मैंने बताया, अफेयर्स क्लाउड और ये एडुटैप, न्यूज पेपर्स, ये 3 चीजें आप स्टार्ट करो. उसके साथ जो भी अगर आपको इसमें ऐड करना है वो अपने आरबीआई की वेबसाइट से ऐड करते रहो. तो इट्स वेरी सिंपल एंड इट्स डूएबल. If you have an interest in, if you have a genuine interest, I think it's
Okay.
doable.
So Shika, there is one candidate, Mr. Yashwardhan, who is asking
Yes.
how one can use his or her static knowledge of ESI in current affairs to answer the questions.
Okay. So
Actually,
अभी
I have a small example here. I was interviewing someone and she quoted me that there was the number of farmers. I think it was given that the news was like already given in the question that 9 lakh farmers have been given this installment of around 2000. It was some figure actually what's given in the question. So what she did, she actually did that. She multiplied 2000 with the 9 lakh. It was coming around some 18,000 crores. And she took that, and that was actually the answer.
yes,
So,
yeah,
guys, it's
it's
your
good.
presence of mind that you need
Presence
to use.
of mind. Yes, yes, you're very right. Means this year's question, they were unconventional. They were not like previous years. जब मैंने वो क्वेश्चंस का पैटर्न देखा, कोई पैटर्न था ही नहीं. मतलब मुझे ऐसा कुछ नहीं, वहां पे सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपके एनालिटिकल स्किल्स काम है. जैसे आप स्टैटिक का पूछ रहे हैं, है ना, you're telling that how the static is used in descriptive part or any other part. स्टैटिक नॉलेज क्या करती है, वो आपको बेस देती है. जैसे कि 2008 फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया. अब आपको इन्फ्लेशन के बारे में पता है, आपको पता है कि इन्फ्लेशन कैसे अलग अलग चीजों को इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है. तो आप उसको कहीं ना कहीं जब क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन का बहुत बड़ा रोल था 2008 फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस में, उसके बाद बहुत ज्यादा हमारी इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ गई थी, फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी का बहुत रोल था. तो वो चीजें ना इंटरलिंक करने लगेगी. आप ना किसी भी चीज को ये सोच के मत पढ़िए कि मुझे ये पढ़ना है, उसको यहाँ यूज करना. जस्ट गिव वन रीड, one thorough read, just give it to to this all the things that happened in and around the country, and then approach the dynamic part. अगर आपको डायनेमिक पार्ट समझ आ रहा है तो मतलब आपका स्टैटिक क्लियर है, तो आप उसको यूज करेंगे कहीं ना कहीं, कहीं ना कहीं.
Okay. So I think these are more than enough question for the phase 2. Let's come to the
Yes,
big day, which was your interview.
interview.
So what was the sources that you referred? Have you given any mock interview, or what were the sources that you used for preparing for the interview?
So, first of all, in interview, we got a lot of time due to all the uncertainties. We got around 3 months. On 4 May, our phase 2 result came, and my interview was on 20th August. Okay, so I got a lot of time. So, first of all, I started reading 3 newspapers. Not three, I could say two, and third one very occasionally. So, me and my friend, we both were preparing together. So, we used to read Business Standard, Life Mint newspaper, and we not offline copies. We used to read them online only. Okay, just for the understanding, without making any notes, because don't make notes. You will not understand that what is important for you or not. So without making any extensive notes, we just started reading Business Standard, Mint, and Indian Express occasionally when any important article came. So this was my constant that I did throughout my interview preparation. First thing. Second thing is RBI website. I visited it at regular intervals. Everyone will say that I visited regularly, but it is not possible sometimes. So I visited it in the span of 10 to 15 days, and I used to visit 3 or 4 tabs: speeches, notifications, any new thing that is coming up. Like there was a thing on CA, current account, and so that question was asked from me in interview also. So they will see that whether you are aware about the things that RBI is doing or not. So just look at the press releases tab, press releases, speeches, and I think monetary policy tab, and the other reports, FSR report and other reports that are published on the RBI website. So these two things, and apart from it, RBI function working PDF. It is important. So I just read it once about and I made notes on various functions that I found important of RBI. I made notes on it. So these 2 or 3 things that I did. And one thing I like to mention was speeches. In speeches part, everyone will say you that read only recent speeches. But what I did was I found most of the speeches very interesting, because there was one speech by Mr. Shaktikanta Das on the journey of monetary policy, 7 stages of monetary policy. It was given in last year's January, but I found it so interesting that I took the printout of that speech also. So apart from the recent speeches, I took out the print of around 12 to 15 speeches from the past 3 to 4 years after 2018. So what it did was it enhanced my quality in my answers. It made me more analytical.
Okay.
That how the bureaucrats, they are approaching the different things about financial stability, all the things, how they are approaching it. So it was enjoyable for me. So you could also do the same thing. You can read speeches.
Okay. And have you taken any mock interview?
Yes. I first of all, my first mock interview was conducted by EduTap only. They conducted free of cost mock tests for every selected interview, and the panel members were very good. There were two panel members, and one of them were from NABARD and one was from RBI.
RBI, yeah.
Both of the sir was very good, and especially the sir from RBI. He was I don't remember his name, but he motivated me a lot. He took an interview of around 50 minutes. So it was telephoning interview, and it was very good in terms of the things that he said to me, like you should cover this part. So it was very extensive, and that was in the month of May. I think that was in the month of May. So that was the start of my preparation, and took help of it. And then after that I'd given 2 more interviews, one from other platforms. You will get it. Okay.
So one of our aspirant is asking, what type of questions were asked in your interview? What is the grilling? Let me bring it to you in some generalized way. Was your interview more on the technical side, or was it more on the HR side?
Okay. So it was mixed, I could say. As I work in LIC, I work as a LIC assistant. So I knew that there will be questions from LIC. So you should actually I divided my preparation into three parts: HR, my education background, and my work experience. I made drives, I made sheets for them, and I prepared around 400 to 500 questions. Cumulatively, I prepared 400 to 500 questions. That included everything. That what all questions they can ask from my HR part, and they can ask from my education about. I'm from computer science. They can ask me anything, tokenization and cryptocurrencies. They can ask me anything. So I sorted down the question, noted down the question, and I answered it there. And also, so the main interview, it was also on the same line that I expected. They first asked me about the relevance of RBI. First, it was single search panel. They asked me that what do you think is the use of RBI? Why RBI is needed? So I answered, he counter questioned. I answered again, he counter questioned. Everything I was answering, he said that it can be done by government. And then it was around 4 to 5 cross questioning. But obviously, I was not nervous. I was smiling throughout the interview, throughout every answer. And he was humble. He was not very hard on me. He was humble. So at last, I said that difference of opinion. RBI provides a platform for difference of opinion. Then he said, okay, now you got it. Okay. So after that, he also asked me about my personal question, that why you haven't go, why you, why did not you appeared for post graduation? I said I wanted to serve the country. He said that you could have served the country better if you appeared for post graduation. I said I will do the post graduation, but I first wanted to acquire some financial stability. I will do the post graduation in some subject that will be consonance with my further job. And after that, he switched. He gave the command to ma'am, and ma'am asked me some questions on RBI, what is supervision, and what are the parts of supervision. So all these things you can cover from RBI functional working PDF. It is very, very nicely given there. And then there were questions from LIC. Why you think it should be privatized? So it was expected. I'm working in LIC.
Lines.
Yeah, it was mostly on expected line. There was one.
They asked the questions not only from your portfolio, but few general questions from the RBI.
Yes. They asked me. They asked the questions from. But many things I am not remembering it, but yeah, yeah. They asked
interview. They can ask anyone any question. So it depends
any
on the
question.
Individual to individual.
They were a ma'am. She asked me questions from risk management. What is risk, and what are the types of risks that bank is facing? How we are. So anything they can ask you. I'm not. I cannot tell in any specified area. Just prepare the general stuffs. Prepare about yourself. Prepare about your work area, and prepare about your hobby. There's one thing I would like to mention. It helped me a lot. During after all the questions, the last panel member, the last sir, there were 5 panel members. The last sir, he asked me about my hobby. He said that, okay, Shikha, what is your hobby? I said, because I had not written anything, I had left that the hobby part in biodata blank. So this was the mistake that was done by mostly many aspirants this year, because they had filled the biodata before the mains only. So we thought that they will ask it again. So I left that biodata wala part blank. I left that blank. So never do this mistake. Write something there, something about you. So I was very scared that what if they will not ask me, but they did ask me about my hobby. So I said reading fictional books, and I have interest in Hindi poetry also. Then they said, okay, which fictional book? I told them about a book I read, and I told the summary of that book. Then after that, he said that, okay, you said Hindi poetry, which is your favorite poet? So I genuinely liked Hindi poetry. I'm now also I remember 20-25 poems. I liked it, genuinely liked it. I have a hobby. Okay, so I told them it is Dushyant Kumar, and they told me to quote some lines from it. So I recited the whole poem in front of them, the whole poem of 10 lines. And everyone was listening. After 2 lines, I stopped. Then they said, no, continue, beta, continue. Okay. And I recited whole poem. Is nadi ki dhar se thandi hawa aati to hai. And it's a very beautiful poem on hope. And after that, everyone was smiling. So I think that was a point that it was very important to have a very good, genuine hobby. Okay. So work on that also.
Okay. So I think most of the interview questions are covered up. So there is one of our member is asking about, Mr. Piyush is asking how she managed this preparation while working?
By putting by preparation in the center stage. I treated my job as a backup only. I took as many leaves as possible. I lied in the office that I'm sick. I took sick leaves. I took PL. I I was I was I was I was very much focused on this preparation only. ऐसे भी दिन होते थे जब मैं ऑफिस जा रही होती थी और मेरा प्रिपरेशन उस दिन का जो मैं टारगेट बेस करना, सबसे पहले तो जो भी वर्किंग कैंडिडेट है, मेक टारगेट्स. यू नेवर नो आपको किस दिन कितना काम पड़ेगा. सो मेक टारगेट्स लाइक एक वीक में आपको ये चीजें कवर करनी है और इन 3 दिनों में मुझे ये चीजें कवर करनी है. मेक टाइम टेबल एंड टारगेट बेस्ड स्टडी. ये नहीं कि मतलब इस दिन में मुझे इतना करना है. मैं एक वीक का टारगेट लेके चलती थी. तो जिस दिन मैं ऑफिस जा रही हूँ ना और मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरा नहीं प्रिपेयर हुआ, मैं उस दिन ऑफिस जाती ही नहीं थी. मैं ऑफिस के पास किसी पार्क में बैठ जाती थी. करोड़ बाग में मेरा ऑफिस था. मैं पार्क में बैठ जाती थी. मैं 2 घंटा 3 घंटा पढ़ती थी पहले. फिर मैं 1:30 बजे मम्मी ने लंच दिया होता था, लंच करके फिर मैं ऑफिस जाती थी. तो करना पड़ेगा ये सब. तो आपको वापस आ रहे हो जिस दिन आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि नहीं, मैं किसी दिन पूरा दिन ऑफिस नहीं जाती थी. मतलब मैंने ये तक सोच लिया था कि मेरा लॉस ऑन पे हो तो हो, बट आई हैव टू गिव इट एवरीथिंग. मतलब मुझे इस एग्जाम को सब कुछ देना है. तो ये सेंटर स्टेज पे आपको रखना पड़ेगा. मुझे इसीलिए मैंने बैंकिंग की जॉब नहीं ली थी. मुझे लगा था कि बैंक में थोड़ा ज्यादा स्ट्रेस होगा. LIC में काइंड ऑफ इट वाज चिल. इतना स्ट्रेस नहीं था. मेरी अकाउंटेबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा नहीं थी. और जिस दिन मैं जाती थी तब मैं काम बहुत सही से कर देती थी. तो मैंने काम के साथ कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं किया कि वहां मुझे बहुत ज्यादा, मुझे या मेरे फेलो एम्प्लॉयज को बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो. वो मैंने कभी नहीं किया. मैंने वहां भी एफिशिएंसी दिखाई, बट मैं नहीं जाती थी जब मुझे नहीं पढ़ना होता था. मार्च में मतलब मेन महीना होता है, क्योंकि मार्च अप्रैल में ही हुआ था. मैंने मार्च में ले ली 20 दिन की छुट्टी. मैंने
So,
लिया.
शिखा, आई थिंक आपने काफी अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया कि कैसे किया जाए. तो इट्स अ क्वाइट सिंपल कि यू हैव टू प्रायोरिटाइज.
फोकस में बिल्कुल प्रायोरिटाइज करिए, बीच में रखिए फोकस में. बिल्कुल.
एंड एक क्वेश्चन मेरे माइंड में आया अभी. आपने भी पूछा कि आप सिक लीव अप्लाई कर देती थी, बट यू आल्सो हैव मेंशनड टू मी दैट आप जब मेंस का टाइम था तो यू वर वेरी सिक.
सच में बीमार हो गई थी मैं.
हाई फीवर वाज देयर. सो वो जो एक फीवर, यू आर नॉट फिजिकली वेल, और एक फेज 2 का प्रेशर कि आई हैव टू मेक इट, आई एम पुटिंग माय जॉब इवन एट रिस्क. मैं इतना सारे इसके लिए एफर्ट लगाया. सो हाउ यू मैनेज दैट प्रेशर, दैट इमोशनल बैगेज, मेंटल प्रेशर? क्या
देखिए, मैंने कहा ना प्रायोरिटी पे, मतलब मेरे लिए एग्जाम बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट था. जब मेरे मतलब एग्जाम से एक रात पहले मुझे 103 बुखार था. मेरे फादर उस टाइम पे फॉर्चुनेटली यहाँ आ गए थे. तो मुझे इतना ज्यादा बुखार था उस टाइम पर कि मतलब मेरे मम्मी पापा मुझे कह रहे थे कि छोड़ दे. लेकिन मुझे उस टाइम पे ये था कि अगर मैंने छोड़ दिया, अगर मैंने इस टाइम पे थोड़ी सी हिम्मत नहीं दिखाई, तो फिर आगे कैसे होगा. मतलब मैंने एक दिन में 4-4 PCM खा लेती थी. मैं पैरासिटामोल, मुझे डॉक्टर ने वही रिकमेंड की थी. तो मेरे पापा मुझे लेकर गए. मैंने वो खाया. मम्मी ने मतलब सब कुछ दिया था मेरे को जो खाने के लिए, जो भी चीजें होती, फ्रूट्स खाना, ये खाना. पापा मुझे वहां तक लेके गए. मुझे उस मतलब अप्रैल में मुझे ठंड लग रही थी. मैंने जैकेट पहन के गई थी. मैं वहां जाके एग्जाम से पहले एकदम आई वाज स्लीपिंग. बट जब एग्जाम हो रहा था ना, मैं 3-4 बार एकदम फेस वॉश करके आई वहां पर, और मैंने लिख दिया जो भी मुझे आता था ना, विदाउट एनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस मैंने लिख दिया. क्योंकि मुझे था कि वहां बैठना, मैंने क्या कहा, अपना 100% देना है. उस टाइम पे वो एग्जाम अटेम्प्ट करना मेरा 100% था. अच्छे से करना, गंदे से करना, दैट वाज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट. मुझे वो एग्जाम अटेम्प्ट करना था उस टाइम पर बैठकर. पूरा अटेम्प्ट करना था. मतलब 4:30 बजे ना, थर्ड पेपर इंग्लिश का था, 5:30 खत्म होना था. 4 बजे मेरे को एकदम पल्स ड्रॉप हो गया था. आई वाज लाइक, बीच में लिखते लिखते मुझे चक्कर आ गया, आंखों के आगे ब्लैंक हो गया था. मैं गई वापस, मैं मुंह धोकर आई. मैंने कहा पेपर तो पूरा लिखूंगी, चाहे जैसे भी लिखूं. थोड़ा किसी का आंसर ही, मैंने कहा मैंने पूरा वर्ड लिमिट सबका नहीं पूरा किया. किसी का आंसर छोटा किया, किसी का बड़ा किया. और मैंने पढ़ा इतना था ना, मतलब ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम मैंने पढ़ाई इतनी की थी कि वो आपको वहां पे कहीं ना कहीं हेल्प करेगी. इट विल हेल्प यू. सो प्रायोरिटाइज, मतलब, और थोड़ी सी हिम्मत आपको दिखानी पड़ेगी हर चीज में. थोड़ी सी दिखा दो, इतनी सी पार हो जाएगा. उसके बाद तो सब ऐसे ही है. हो गया.
उसके बाद तो लाइट है. अभी तो
उसके
पार्टी
बाद
शुरू
सब
हुई
लाइट
है.
है. अब तो सब सही है.
ओके. हाँ guys, this is important message which she has given कि had she had given about that particular day, it was like she has to go through this entire cycle again.
Okay.
So do
Yes.
not lose out hope. If the situations are tough on your end, please put some extra efforts. So Shika, I think we have covered most of the points. It was nice talking to you guys. अगर
Thank
आपका
you.
कोई query है, you can post it. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. Seriously, she is a source of inspiration. आप काफी कुछ सीख सकते हैं.
Thank you so much.
मैम, टिप्स फॉर फाइनेंस सिलेबस. मैम ने वैसे बताया था इसका अभी.
आप पहले करना शुरू कीजिए 2-3 सोर्सेस से। EduTap के समरी शीट्स अच्छी हैं, मतलब एकदम एक जो मैं एक सोर्स बोलूंगी EduTap के समरी शीट से शुरू कीजिए, क्योंकि एक बार स्टैटिक पार्ट पता होना चाहिए बॉन्ड का, और मतलब ये बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स है, मतलब वो आपको पता होना चाहिए। EduTap के समरी शीट से शुरू कीजिए एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट न्यूज़पेपर के साथ सप्लीमेंट कीजिए, उससे चीजें अपने आप होने लगेंगी। गूगल पे जाइए, डू इट, मतलब एवरीथिंग, बहुत ज्यादा हैफाजार्ड नहीं करना।
Okay. And is there any book list that you want to refer?
मैंने कहा ना अभी, एक ईएसआई के लिए श्रीराम की इकोनॉमिक वाली बुक आती है, वो मैंने किया था क्योंकि सबसे इजी लगी थी मुझे, इसलिए भी नहीं कि मतलब वो बहुत एक्सटेंसिव है या नहीं, वो सब नहीं बोलूंगी मैं, इजी थी, छोटी सी थी, मतलब पतली सी थी, इजी थी। और बाकी मैनेजमेंट और उसके लिए एडुटैप की समरी शीट्स मैंने वही रेफर किया था, मुझे वो स्टैटिक पार्ट के लिए काफी सही लगे थे।
Okay.
तो मुझे नहीं पता, अगर कोर्स में क्या पता और अच्छे से समझाया उन्होंने, तो आप कोर्स भी देख सकते हैं, बहुत अच्छे से समझाया होगा, क्या पता, मैंने समरी शीट से किया था। सो ये 3 चीज अगर स्टैटिक पार्ट के लिए मैं बोलूं, और न्यूज़पेपर अगर आप कल सोच रहे हैं ना कि मुझे एग्जाम देना है, कल से स्टार्ट कर दीजिए न्यूज़पेपर। रीडिंग हैबिट, मतलब जितनी आप रीडिंग हैबिट अपनी अच्छी करेंगे, वो आपको एग्जाम में एडवांटेज देगी ही देगी। मतलब वो ऐसे पेपर दे रहे हैं ना कि मतलब अगर आप रीड ही नहीं कर पाओगे तो आप आंसर कहाँ से करोगे? इतने बड़े बड़े आंसर थे, इतने बड़े बड़े पैराग्राफ थे, टॉगल करना पड़ता नीचे आने के लिए क्वेश्चन पूरा पढ़ने के लिए।
Yeah. One of our candidate is asking, what was your score in phase one?
हाँ,
Can you share
मेरा
that?
फेज वन में कट ऑफ से 8 मार्क्स ज्यादा था, 74.75 था। और
Okay.
उसमें जीए में बहुत ज्यादा नहीं था मेरा, मेंस
देखो
सब
इसमें
बराबर सब में, किसी में ज्यादा नहीं था, मैं
what
बताऊंगी।
I would say कि ये जो question है ठीक है, we can keep, because this year there was a change in plan, so maybe next year they may introduce some more plan regarding this.
क्या पता
Some
फेज
change
वन
might be
वापस
there.
इजी कर दें, क्या
Yeah,
पता
yeah,
वापस इजी कर दे फेज वन, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, वी कैन डू एनीथिंग।
yeah. Okay. So I think we have covered most of this query part. So Shikha, thank you so much for joining us.
थैंक यू सो मच।
It was a very interesting and very
थैंक यू फॉर
inspirational session, and we would congratulate you on your success.
थैंक यू
Thank you so much.
थैंक यू फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी एंड होप, आई थिंक इट इज द, मतलब सबने बोला है, इट इज द बेस्ट ऑफ ऑल थिंग्स। सो हैव फेथ and you will succeed if you have genuine interest. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.